This Map First Impressions video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Saxonia 2019. This map can be found over at modhoster.com, and let me tell you, I am really excited to bring you this map today. I played this map in Farm Sim 17, enjoyed it quite a bit leading into the release of Seasons. Seasons came out, I kind of put this map by the wayside because in 17 this was a very heavy production map. It is a 4X map, and boy does it feel every bit of 4X in the way that it's laid out, where the roads are networked, and the amount of stuff you can do on this map. If you are into production, you're in luck. Even though we don't have a lot of production scripts out there, this map still has a fair bit of production going on it, and there will be even more production once Global Company is released, according to the mod author. So let me read you a little bit of the description, but before I do that, go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to put up a pause screen here in a few moments. Fill up your cup of coffee, clear your calendar, tell your folks you're going to be late to dinner, because this video is going to be a long one. Alright, now that you're back, and we've got the video started back up, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the description. This is a multi-fruit map. This map includes carrots, onions, cabbage, hops, tobacco, spelt, millet, poppy, rye. You can also harvest sugarcane and cotton have been added to the map as opposed to the Farm Sim 17 version. There are 57 fields on this map, with the smallest field being 2 hectares in size and the largest around 98 hectares in size. If you are familiar with this map from Farm Sim 17, then you should be able to find your way around fairly well, because most of the buildings, most of the production are still in the same place. There are 3 different silos on the farm: general farm silo, a stockpile silo, and a feed store, as the description says. And let me read you off the list of productions that are currently available on the map. Grass drying, there's a refinery to make diesel, a mill to make flour, I believe, fermenter, fertilizer, seed, lime, liquid fertilizer, and herbicide productions, malting, brewing, TMR production, pig feed production, a sugar factory that makes sugar, and then a blue poppy production. Really don't know what blue poppies are for, but I'm sure you guys will tell me in the description below. And when you download this map, you will need to unzip what you download, because the map will include itself and a mod. So you'll need to make sure you include those. You'll have the Saxonia map here, then you'll need to include this universal tank trailer also. Let's go ahead and pick up our mods and load up the map. Go ahead and pull up the log so we can see this map load in. It's going to take a little bit of time to load this map. There are a lot of things put down, and there are a lot of other aspects to load up on this map. Lots of starting equipment. See that this map utilizes the fill pipe mover script. Sit back and wait. And there we go. It's loaded on in. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. Zoom on out. And this thing is a busy PDA. There we are. As you can see from the description we read, we have lots of extra crops. We've got Dinkel, which I think is spelt. Got Hurst, which I think is rye. So all of these are in not English. So that's hops. That's tobacco, I guess. This looks like cabbage, onions, carrots, red poppies, and this is probably rye, and this is probably spelt or millet, then that is either spelt or millet. Go ahead and take a look at the lands. So you can see when you start out in new farmer mode, you own fields 1, 3, 13, area 7 or area 11, and field 9. Largest field on the map is 38 at $2.7 million. 45 is a close second, $0.7 million. Have other fields like 1.3, field 46, $235,000. Field 7, $87,000. 3, $94,000. So you can see we're going to need a fair bit of money to buy the land here on this map. I will tell you, if you start this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you might be a little hard pressed to be able to afford land simply based on the prices. For example, up here, there is a placeable area, but you've got to buy all of area 57, which is $521,000. There's also a placeable area down here in the lower corner of the map. It's $236,000, so that is much more affordable if you're doing some start from scratch. Let's take a look at the prices, and we are going to be on this screen for quite a while because there are a bunch of sell points here on the map, and there are a bunch of products also. So we go over here, and pretty much this is where most maps stop. See, we're about halfway. Got our extra crops here, so we've got spellet, rye, millet, whichever one of these are. Again, personal pet peeve. Really wish Giants would put words underneath these things. Seriously. You have red poppies, carrots, onions, cabbage, hops, tobacco. You have what I'm thinking is flour. Again, because there's not words here. We've got beer. We've got, this might be, I don't know what that is. That's blue poppy. We got malt. We got sugar, and we have compost. Back over here. Sort these. So we have 2 sell points at the airbase. That's right, this map has a military airbase here on the map. Ottohof, I mean, this is all just in German. I can't tell you that this is the map that drove me to create a video in FarmSim 17 on how to basically translate a map that had hard-coded like German or Russian or whatever sell points. So go dig that up. If I think about it, I'll put a link in the description below to that video. It's sure going to be still relevant to FarmSim 19 to some degree. Look at all these sell points. So plenty of economy viability here on the map. Scrolling over here. Got lots of sell points for our eggs and our milk. Do have a spinnery to purchase our cotton and wool. 2 sell points for that. This way. We have multiple sell points for silage, hay, straw, grass, and wood chips. We also have the ability to sell diesel fuel because we can produce that. Plenty of sell points for our manure, all of our additional crops. A couple of sell points for our beer. Sugar has multiple sell points, as does compost. Start with a large fleet of equipment, as you would expect on such a busy production map. All of it is fairly low operating hours and very well maintained, and none of it is in fixed column. You start in new farmer mode with all of our animal areas pre-placed on the map, yet we do not have any animals. I can tell you also in Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, these animal areas are missing. They're not pre-placed on the map, nor are the silos at the main farm. So again, this map is really driving you into farmer mode. And as you would expect, this map does have contracts. So let's take a look at that massive starting fleet. So we start out with several tractors. We've got the John Deere 6250R. New are the Massey Ferguson 7726, pair of Fendt 1050s, Valtra S374. So our tractors range in horsepower from 517 all the way down to just 280 horsepower. We've got quite a powerful fleet of tractors here. We've got two semis. We've got the Man and the Tatra. Got a pair of harvesters, the Ideal 9 and the New Holland CR 10.90. Got the Krone Big X forage harvester as well as the Krone Big M mower. Got the 2014 pickup. Got a pair of crampy trailers, SB 230-1070, and then the LS950. Got the Joskin trailer here. Got the large grain header for our Ideal, as well as the large row crop header for our Ideal harvester. We've got the Krone X Collect, the big Krone forage harvester header. Got a big plow, massive Benar cultivator from the Big Bud Pack. Have the Amazon seeder, the Condor 15001. We have a Tempo L16 planter. See by looking at the crops what these various seeders do. This one kind of runs off the edge. See what this planter put down in the ground. Have a fertilized spreader, lime spreader. We have a manure and compost spreader. We've got the weeder. We've got a forage wagon. We've got a mixing wagon for our total mixed rations. We've got a water and milk tanker. Header trailer. We've got 3 sets of weights. And then we have the standard in-game cow pasture, pig enclosure, and sheep enclosure. We do have a custom horse paddock. We have the stock chicken coop, and then we move into more of the placeables. This is our main farm silo that has both a train dump and a trailer dump point. See, it holds 100 million liters, if I'm reading that correctly, and holds all of our standard grains as well as sugarcane, hops, tobacco. Let's call this millet. Let's call this spelt and rye and red poppies. We hold total mixed rations, pig food, malt, and compost. I believe that's what all those are. We have earth fruit storage, which holds our potatoes, sugar beets, onions, carrots, and interesting that you're putting cabbage in a silo. I wouldn't think you'd be putting any of these things in a silo, but at any rate, so you can store all of these in the earth fruits storage. Again, it holds 100 million liters. Now let's take a look at the placeables and see if we have some custom stuff here. We can indeed buy and put down the horse paddock. So if we do start from scratch our new farmer mode, we can put that down. Or quite frankly, maybe we want to put a second one down. Also have the ability to put down a railroad crane. Look at that. First we've seen that capability. Scroll over here, we see we have our main farm silo we can put down. We have a modded large silo extension that we can put down. It's been modified to accept all of the fill types here on the map. We've got the earth fruit silo. We've got straw storage, which will accept hay straw, grass, chaff, wood chips, and silage. We've got feed warehouse for the horses, and take a look. Horses might require carrots, interesting enough. We have TMR silo here, standard fare as far as inputs on that. We have a pig food silo, again, standard fare as far as our inputs on that. And that is the silo section. Decoration, pretty much good to go. Same with sheds and farmhouses. So, 15 minutes into the video, and we haven't even looked around. Like I said, we're going to be here a while. Hope you're still comfortable. Here we are at our farmhouse. We have our sleep trigger. Let's go ahead and just kind of start walking around here. Bain Farmyard is very, very much industrial. lots of places to expand, lots of places to put more buildings down, but quite frankly, I don't see why you're going to need to, because there is a ton of vehicle and implement storage. There's one of the trains that we can drive on the map. We will be tabbing around through the trains, get kind of a train tour. This used to be a repair trigger. I think it may be in this bay. There it is. We can do our customize and repairing over here. You have a fuel silo for purchasing fuel. Our Joskin trailer. Run on over here. Have our pair of trucks and semi-trailers. Saw a jet flying through the sky. Maybe. There's the house, just to give you a frame of reference. Here we have the chickens. And it's a standard Farm Sim 19 chicken area, so we really don't need to go into details on that. We have the Farm Sim 19 cow area. Once again, we really don't need to go into details on that. Go ahead and run on over here to the farm and start taking a look at things here. Here we have storage for liquid fertilizer. Input, and we have our output, and thankfully we've got signages. It is in both English and German, I believe. We have bale storage for straw and grass or hay, whatever. These aren't anything special. Just three-sided bins that are double high. Stack bales against. We also have storage for fertilizer, seed, and lime over here. We have a train that runs straight through this industrial farm complex. We have a storage for herbicide. Just talking about the train. Goes. See, we have some custom engines for our trains. Have some of our vehicles, some of our implements stored over here. We have the massive silo complex. And if we start this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, silo complex is not here. There goes one of the. So we'll have plenty of opportunity to check the jets out. Grain dump and our train dump trigger. Drones are in there. Some more of our equipment. Some of our bigger equipment, which we can't store inside, is stored out here. Weights. We have silage production. Of course, all of your raw goods that are typically going to silage. Hay, straw, or grass. Hay, straw, and silage in. Total mixed rations out the pipe right here. Then we have forage production. Sorry, this is silage production. Ahead of myself. So straw, or not straw. Grass or chaff in. Silage out. Total mixed rations production. Silage in. Grass in. Or no, silage, hay, and straw in. Gosh. Total mixed rations out. Here we have our huge grass dryer. Pretty cool setup on this. We have our out pipe here to get our hay out. We have our input here, put grass in. More storage for vehicles and implements around the back here. So it had lots of room, all kinds of stuff. Going on back here, and I want to show you something. Train. logging train. So in addition to the trains that we can drive, also have these like commuter trains that run up and down the map. Can't get into these. I think one's about to come by. We'll see it, I'm sure. Going across the map. You'll go up and down this line here. That's a pretty cool thing. And I've even seen a big bus, like a commuter bus, going around on the traffic. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tab real fast, get around to the trains. Then we're going to go around the trains. It's going to take a while, but what better way to kind of get a good overview of the map? We're going to do a fly around, and I think instead of driving around, the map is mostly flat. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to use the fly around as the drive around. Otherwise, this video is easily going to be like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. Go ahead and get set up for that flyover. All right, so we're set up. So now let's tab around our trains. Okay, this could be a little disorienting. There we go. First train. Zoom out, pull up the map. They're right now going between fields 13 and 11. Just went past the main farm. I don't think this was the train that went through the farm. Up on one of our sell points right here. Around. Now some of these buildings you will see will have what looks like dump points that are barricaded off. Those are going to be factory areas that are waiting on global company script in order to become production. This is kind of like the central transport distribution. It's two lines. Basically load and unload your trains. The big area down in the lower left, that is the airbase on the PDA. There's that commuter train slowly making its way across the map, off in the distance. Spinnery right there, still our wool and cotton. This is there's a plane in front of us. Here is the major train hub. In fact, it looks like we've got another train running down just ahead of us. So I know there's quite a following for folks that like maps that utilize trains. So if you're that kind of a person, I think you're probably going to be naturally drawn to this map just by its large use of the train lines and the railroad complex itself. There's multiple trains that are using the same line, split offs, changes, and turns. Did a real good job with putting these power lines in the top. These were not part of the 17 version of the map. We're making our way down across, I would say the bottom, but across the lower part of the map. The train line right there just split off from a train. Comes the logging train. the fact that these trains now drive around on themselves, that is going to be really, really fun, I think, to just be playing the map and experience the trains just going around. All right, so here we have, you'll find these red things scattered around. We didn't have a chance to look at it very much. It says Silo King on it. It's basically a, off here, look at part of the farm. That's so excited. It's basically for loading things into the train. Over here we have the pig area. We have our pig production. Everything that would typically go into creating pig food would dump into there. Pig food mix out of here. We have the standard Giants pig area. Nothing really to look at there. Here we have that root crop silo. Again, we have a train dump and a traditional trailer dump for our root crop storage. Silo bunker. Over here, we have our straw storage, wood chips, hay, straw, grass, silage, chaff, etc. storage. We got our dump and our fill. Then we've got one of our tractors over here with a water milk tanker and then the water trigger. This building also does have a train trigger associated with it. Here's the train we jumped out of. Get him going again. Just to move him out of the way a little bit. Let's tab into the next train. There's that other train that we saw already. This train is going in the opposite direction. Another placeable area. Take a look. Gotta buy field 12 in order to get that, so that's $720,000. It'll make use of that big area right there. Traffic does observe the train crossings. That's good to see. So that is not a plane up there in the sky. That is not a UFO up there in the sky. It is actually an interesting, like, half-curved concrete barrier that's up there floating around. I flew up there just to take a look at it to figure out what on earth it was. It's just off the map boundary. Sell point that you can sell at the train. Don't really know what that is, but I'm thinking that is storage. Cruise control, we were slowing down. Some road construction blocking off the map boundary. Church there. Little country church. Bells. Not a lot going on up here on the upper edge of the map. It's kind of traversing across. We'll be going by some more of those train transfer silos. Right here. Dump into those. Then you'll be able to transfer to the train. There was a train dump where you could transfer out. There's an additional silo over there to store kind of satellite crops, fuel storage, seed, fertilizer, and lime storage also over there. It's our brewery right there. Make our hops and our beer. Frame of reference, there is our spinnery, and here is our fuel refinery. Now we're coming across the other train line. Directly in front of us is going to be our farm. Over here to our right is that's the big shop, the big store over there. Bain Farm. Vehicle shop. Cutting across that one line and then making our way back across to the big train depot. Go ahead and tab over to the next train. We have one of the custom engines on the map. One out. You can see this one's running up along field 51 and 32. This train line, obviously, we've seen him a few times across the main train distribution. There's like the tour bus or the city bus. See it driving around up here. They intercepted at an intersection. Well, it looks like we're about to turn around, but you can see the city bus up there. Make our way back down the same route it looks like that we came up. Then we're gonna turn here, I believe. So when we came up straight, but this time we're gonna turn left. Make our way across the road. And then we're going to loop back around to the train distribution center, which is just over to our right. We'll then tab to the next line, which is the logging train. Got 4 log train cars. And we are now running up a field between fields 30, well, just south of field 11. There is the sawmill and the placeable crane. There. Make our way down to the forest area. Directly in front of us. Basically, we're going to go around. Way back up the same line. It's just basically do a little loop. That. And what, I think that's been 1, 2, 3. Is this the fourth line? I think we may have one more to go, actually. Have over one more. Here we are. This is the one that does go through our main farm, Castor Logistic. Cab. Cut through the train, main farm at quite a clip. There's the first train that we got out of. It could be quite the logistics to try to plan which train you need to load crop into, or which station you need to stop at in order to unload crop. One train to transfer it to another train, figure out which line goes to which sell point. You know, some folks are going to find that extremely exciting. Have to try to figure that out and keep track of that. Other folks are going to be like, not for me, man. So, this map's not for everybody, but for somebody, this map's going to be everything to the world. So hopefully, I can introduce this map to that person. They will basically be loving life. We are going down by the brewery again. Around one of those secondary kind of silo storage yards. Ability for fuel, silo, storage for lime, fertilizer, and seed. This is the red, this is the poppy place, I think. Definitely tour. All right, yeah. Coming across right about the top middle of the map. It's north of field 39 at this point. We even have barges going up and down the river. Lots of areas over here, and to build out your farm. But field 20 or area 20 is $878,000. Take a look at those two big pads you get. It's BGA. front of us. And we have another one of those silo storage areas. Well, sometimes these trains just make too many turns. Get a little disorienting sometimes. Massive field in front. It's not even the biggest one. Now we're running down across the eastern side of the map. You can see how what I said about how this map just feels and plays much larger than it is, just based on how much back and forth you've got to go. It's very few direct routes to anything. Fields are very large. Just wish there was a little better map border going on here. Campfire over there. I think that's even an animated flame going. A sell point. Approaching another sell point here. The grocery store is a sell point, and then here is that area in the lower east of the map. I said was about $200-some thousand for a placeable area. Another one of those additional silos with fuel and seed, lime, and fertilizer storage. Lots of cool bridges on the road network. Also, lots of road signs. It's kind of interesting that we are running here behind the mountain range. Basically looks like this train is going to go around maybe possibly the entire border of the map. Off in the distance, you see yet another one of those additional silo storage areas. So you're not going to have to be transporting all of this crop back to the main farm unless you want to. Appears that this train maybe goes around most of these areas, so you can run your harvest up, put it in these, get into this train, run it around, gather your harvest up into the train, then run it up to either sell points or back to the main farm. Over there, that is the military base. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. And now we're starting to make our way back up to the middle of the map where we're going to come through the main farm again. That is go ahead and tab out. Back into our truck. Take flight. And, well, let's quick fly over, to the farm, and then we'll just kind of start expanding out from there, okay? Got our farmhouse here. Got our chicken coop. Chickens, cows, silage bunker, crop storage silo. Got our pigs, pig food storage, straw. Further up the way here, we have our sheep. Take a look at that in a little bit. Have kind of our main farm area where we have our seed, solid fertilizer, and lime storage silos there. Have this was herbicide. This is liquid fertilizer. Got all kinds of buildings and sheds. Got main farm silo. Got a fermenting silo for silage. Got a total mixed ration silo. Got a hay dryer. That is pretty much the main farm. Here we have the sawmill. We have a log sell point here beside the train. You have to crane your logs off into the sell point. Let's go ahead and just make our way over here. And then what we'll do is we will try our best to go counterclockwise around the map. See as much as we can in reason, of course. Have the dairy here only for sale. And this is blocked off because this, once Global Company comes in, will be used to actually produce dairy products, not just to sell dairy products. If that made any sense. This whole area will be used to produce probably pallets or something. So that's up and running. Same with this. You can see that is probably going to be for board wood or something else, but it is blocked off. Have a sell point here for both trailers and a train. Sell point for trailers. A placeable area. So as a general rule, the yellow markers are for selling, and the white markers are representing a production area. Coming up on one of our first production areas here. On the back is currently a sell point. See, at some point this will be used to deliver flour and potatoes. These are all marked off. They don't work yet. Oats. And here is where we deliver poppy. This is where we get blue poppy out. And I don't really know what blue poppy is going to be used for. This is where we put our poppies in and we get blue poppy out. So the rest of this whole facility is just roped off and marked off because it doesn't currently function as is intended by the map author. Sawmill. Also up over here, this is the logging area. Log sell point and a wood chip sell point for physical trailers on a truck. Goes to trailer on a train. Seen that sell point, so let's go ahead and way over here. You know, the shop pretty much across the street from the main farm, that commuter train I'm talking about. We have the animal dealer. Now, in the 17 version of the map, it seemed to be that the intention of the map author, because he had a train line basically running right up past the animal trigger. I think he was at some point trying to get. At some point, he was trying to get the ability to basically transport animals on a train. That never seemed to fruition. We have the store, customize, sell, and repair triggers. Then a massive backlot to spawn our vehicles into. Sell point probably will turn into something else in the future. That cabbage. It's blocked off, so this is just a sell point at this moment, but you can see the rest of that has been blocked off. That area will be used for production later, so keep an eye on this map, especially after Global Company comes out. There will be updates to include additional functionality and capabilities. It's one of those additional silo areas, and this, guys, is the really cool, really interesting airbase. Jet just goes around in taxis. That this is what looks like some missile batteries. Trolling, big old jumbo jet there, jumbo plane. Our jet is going to come in here and does touch and go landings here. He's coming in right now. This off. Hide the HUD. Here it comes. Never really fully touches, but basically constantly makes rounds. Saw a Jeep driving the roads up here, patrolling the base. A helicopter getting ready to take off over here. It never really does take off. But we have 2 sell points down here at the we have 2 sell points here at the airport, airbase. We've got a canola sell point, and then we have a fuel sell point. Helicopter. Really cool area. Here we have some more production. Slow. Delivery for lime extraction, so we need water. Bring water there. Here's where we get lime after it's been produced. Loading of liquid fertilizer, where we get liquid fertilizer out, where we pull herbicide out. Put manure in here. Delivery for fertilizer production. Put grain and fertilizer in here for seed production. And we bring fertilizer, liquid manure, and digestate into here to get liquid fertilizer. Get our fertilizer out. Get our seed out. Yet coming in again. So that is a big production area. We have our main, your train distribution area. We kind of have background sounds here of a train platform. Sell point. Looks like our trains are running again. One of them is. Over here. Spinnery for our wool and cotton sales. Then we have our fuel production. We're going to deliver canola or sunflowers here. Then as a byproduct, we're going to get fuel and pig food. And this is a sell point here at the refinery. Refinery has a sell point and a production point. Already covered most of the bottom part of the map. Now let's go up here and get the top part of the map. It's hard to believe that we pretty much are only about halfway done exploring the area. Here we have our brewery. Our brewery is composed of 2 different productions. First off, we have our malt production. The way I think this works is we're going to come into here. I'm going to bring wheat, barley, and spelt. Maybe it's wheat, barley, or spelt, or maybe it's all 3. Deliver one of those or all 3 of those. And as a result, we get malt here. Okay? Then we take the malt around over here. This is our brewery. And we bring in raw materials. We bring barley, hops, and malt. into here, and then we get draft beer bulk out of here. That's where we need this trailer. That's where this trailer comes into play. Transports fuel, beer, water, and milk. Okay? The standard trailer, here under animals, only hauls water and milk. All right, let's make our way over here, and our horse area is actually over here. I haven't talked about the horses because they are fairly removed from the main farm. Now the Shell, they're going to be a buyer of fuel, no doubt. The sell point here. Sell point here at the motel. This one is a bit confusing. This one buys slurry. That's all they buy. They buy slurry. Okay, but it looks like this may be set up for something more later. Because we have bulk, fertilizer, and seed. This may be a bulk purchase point. That's what this may be. I haven't tested it. That's what it might be. Have the hotel sell point. Fill their pool. It's below. Hotel. And then over here we have our custom horse area. Kind of associated with the hotel, I guess. We have our straw. Trigger right here. Water. Food trough. And then we have our horse purchase area. And you can see our horses take oat or carrots, 60%, and then hay also for food requirements. And associated with the horses, we have then this storage facility which will house oats, carrots, hay, and straw. That was the brewery. We already looked at that. Make our way over here to the Blue Poppy place again. No, we already looked at the Blue Poppy place. This is sugar. This is for sugar. This bin here is to sell at the building. This bin, sugar beets or sugar cane to produce sugar. And then around the side here is where you get your sugar out. Issue sugar means basically get it out. Sell point there. Dock, where we have a sell point. There. Sell point over here across the way. Right now it is just a sell point here, but at some point the bakery will accept other products and produce probably bread. Let's make our way here. Now this is an interesting facility. Right now she does nothing. This is a logistics base. This is like a universal storage for what is to come. You have bread, cheese, homogenized milk, sugar cubes. We have meats and sausages, steaks. One is like an input, one is like an output. Got this guy driving around on forklift. One inside. Can go inside this building if we want. Just kind of drives inside and then comes back out. This will be used once production is in full force. You have a sell point at like a grocery store. So it happens to have parking deck on the roof. Interesting deal. Another sell point here. And another sell point there. And our sheep. I mentioned we were going to see our sheep. Let's loop back around. Sheep are right over here. It's a standard farm sim 17 or 19 sheep area. And we are just about done. Here is the Castor food production area. It's currently not functioning, but this is where you would basically make your sausages and steaks and whatnot. Let's head over here to the BGA, and this is where we will complete the tour of Saxonia for Farm Sim 19. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. This map is going to be crazy once Global Company comes out and all the other production starts to filter in into production maps. Well, you're going to already like it because it already has a fair bit of production capability. And getting on it now, getting used to it, and getting familiar with everything is going to be key to really making the most of this map once everything is rocking and rolling. That factory script. Here we've got our half triggers, silage bunker, and our digestate trigger. There you go. Let's take to the skies. Already seen the PDA. Kind of see the map from way above high. Massive fields over here. Until next time, happy farming.